wonder what happens when you mix hot lava and chicken.
Minecraft in the United States in one weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weekends.
Rachel Zegler was allegedly humiliated in front of Disney executives. And the person responsible? Jack Black. Yeah, that Jack Black. But this wasn't just a snappy exchange or some Hollywood awkwardness. It may have triggered a full-blown emotional breakdown, a meltdown that unraveled the image Disney tried so hard to protect. But that's not all. The fallout didn't just stay behind closed doors. It went public, viral, and brutally unforgiving.
Rachel Zegler then inexplicably continued to post herself in an empty theater for her own movie. She's literally the only person there. Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
Chicken joe.
So what actually happened? Why was the star of Snow White, one of Disney's most iconic roles, caught sitting alone in an empty movie theater? And how did a video game movie about Minecraft manage to destroy Disney's billion-dollar princess? This isn't just a flop. It's a symbol. A moment that has fans wondering whether Disney's golden age has finally cracked under the pressure of its own legacy.
And everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
It gets crazier, because the deeper you dig, the more this starts to look like a full-blown industry wake-up call. Rachel Zegler was supposed to be the studio's next Golden Girl. Cast as Snow White in a live-action remake of the film that literally built the Disney empire. This was supposed to be her moment, the kind of career-defining role actresses dream of. But from the second her casting was announced, things got weird.
Snow White, of course, famously played by the insufferable girl boss narcissist, who's just clinical at this point, saying that audiences will always line up to see her no matter what she does.
Listen to this. The excitement didn't just fade. It reversed, turning into instant controversy. Instead of celebration, fans were skeptical. Disney announced they were reimagining the classic with a modern twist. Prince was gone. The 7 dwarfs? Replaced. The storyline? Empowered. And then came the interviews. Zegler didn't just share her excitement, she tore into the original film, calling the prince a stalker, claiming Snow White wouldn't be saved by a man this time. Mocking the classic fairy tale with a smirk, she doubled down in multiple appearances.
Rachel Zegler then inexplicably continued to post herself in an empty theater for her own movie. She's literally the only person there. And do you not understand how humiliating this is?
Over and over. It gets worse. She didn't just make those comments once. She made them repeatedly, doubling down even as the backlash grew. Instead of winning fans over, she lit a fire under them. They accused her of disrespecting the studio's roots, turning a beloved story into a preachy rewrite. And just like that, the narrative shifted, from rising star to arrogant outsider. But Zegler didn't back down. The reason this stung? She said confidently, "People will always come see me no matter what."
Whereas the Snow White model is the message ad infinitum, shoved directly up your ass, and, most importantly, in the most insufferable possible way, like screamed at you.
And that's when the mood online shifted completely. Zegler started posting videos of herself, alone in completely empty theaters, watching her own movie. Not once, multiple times. Smiling, as if nothing was wrong. But that's not all. These weren't private moments. She posted them publicly like everything was fine while the internet watched the ship sink. But to fans, it looked humiliating. Like a public flop playing out in real time. And right when Snow White was spiraling across town, something very different was happening. gets crazier. A movie no one took seriously, a Minecraft adaptation, was quietly making more money in one weekend than Snow White did in 3. Critics loved it. Fans showed up in droves. And Disney? Well, Disney was panicking. Then came the confrontation. Multiple insiders whispered about a tense moment between Rachel Zegler and Jack Black. But listen to this, it wasn't staged, it wasn't PR, and it definitely wasn't friendly. According to reports, it wasn't about numbers. It was about attitude. Jack Black allegedly pulled Zegler aside and asked her something blunt. Do you think calling fans trolls is helping? What happened next depends on who you ask. Some say Zegler got emotional, very emotional. Others claim she stormed off. A few insiders even said she started seeing a therapist shortly after. Gets worse, this wasn't just a moment of tension, it was the moment the entire campaign started collapsing. But what everyone agrees on? That moment changed everything. Press tour froze. Zegler's social media went silent. Disney issued generic, panicked statements. Something had shifted, and fans could feel it. Behind the scenes, the production descended into chaos. Entire scenes were reportedly scrapped at the last minute. Major plot lines were left unresolved. The editing room turned into a war zone of conflicting visions and late-night decisions. Insiders described it as a frantic attempt to salvage something they already knew was broken. And it gets even messier. Test audiences weren't just lukewarm. They were brutal. Test audiences called it tonally confused, emotionally flat. One person even said it felt like two different movies mashed together, and it wasn't a compliment. And in the middle of it all, Zegler, alone, silent, still posting filtered selfies while the internet turned her story into a meme machine. By this point, the conversation had moved way beyond one actress. Even Disney's CEO Bob Iger was reportedly getting involved. Early screenings triggered alarm bells at the highest levels. Executives wanted answers. How did their crown jewel end up like this? But that's not all, it wasn't just damage control. It was full-blown industry panic. Marketing budgets were slashed. Entire campaigns were retooled. Reshoots were ordered with almost frantic urgency. And yet it was too late. Audiences weren't just rejecting Snow White, they were laughing at it, mocking it, using it as a punchline. The backlash wasn't just loud, it was symbolic. And the contrast couldn't have been more brutal. Minecraft was exploding into a cultural moment. Kids were dancing in the aisles. Parents were laughing. Jack Black was showing up to premieres like a rock star, singing songs, telling jokes, reminding people of why they fell in love with movies in the first place. And here's where it hits, it felt like the old magic was back, just not at Disney. Contrast hit hard. One movie was fun, self-aware, and full of joy. The other? A lecture dressed in fairy tale clothing. Critics praised Minecraft for being silly without being stupid, heartfelt without being heavy. It didn't try to teach, it tried to entertain. And audiences loved it. It gets even sadder because Snow White wasn't just boring, it felt like it had forgotten how to feel. Suddenly, Jack Black became more than a co-star. He became a symbol. Contrast. A veteran of heart-over-hype storytelling in an industry losing its way. Online, the debate exploded. Was Rachel Zegler the victim of unfair expectations? Or had her own arrogance played a part? Was this a toxic fanbase punching down, or a genuine reaction to being dismissed? But listen to this, even Zegler's fans started noticing something had changed. Her content started to feel strained, like someone trying to smile through the storm. Inspirational quotes, carefully cropped photos. But the energy was gone, and fans could feel it. Some offered sympathy. Others doubled down with mockery. But the underlying question remained, had Disney lost the plot? Because at this point, it wasn't just Snow White that was in danger. It was Disney's entire formula. And now the warning signs? They were impossible to ignore. And here's the real kicker. This wasn't just a single failed film. This was the moment the cracks became undeniable. Disney's live-action strategy, the remakes, the reboots, the legacy reimaginings, finally hit a wall. It gets deeper because audiences aren't just disappointed. They're done. Fans were done. Done being talked down to. Done being told what to think. Done sitting through glossy, expensive movies that forgot how to make them feel something. And the Jack Black confrontation? Whether it really happened or not, it meant something. Became a metaphor. One voice of joy, silliness, and heart, calling out a system that's been trading magic for messaging. And here's the twist. That message may have landed harder than anything Disney put on screen. Zegler may have been the face of the fallout. But Disney's identity was the real casualty. So what do you think? Was Jack Black really the wake-up call Disney needed? Could this moment spark a shift back towards stories that put joy first? Or was it all just rumor? A Hollywood myth spun out of one tense moment and blown into an internet storm? But either way, one thing's for sure, the audience is paying attention. Whatever the case, the message is loud and clear. Audiences aren't showing up for lectures. They're showing up for feeling. Until Disney rediscovers how to deliver that, even its most iconic stories may continue to fall flat. And as for Zegler, only time will tell whether she rebounds or becomes the cautionary tale of a system that ignored the warning signs until it was too late. If you want to keep up with the behind-the-scenes chaos no one else is talking about, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We go deeper into Hollywood's meltdowns, celebrity confrontations, and all the rumors the industry doesn't want you to hear. 'Cause believe me, this story isn't over. Not even close.